One night when it was cold and raining, he was having a small darshan in his own little private bedroom or recording room where he would do his translations. And only about 15 devotees could fit. Now, I had a picture. I was the pujari of the Brahmachari's temple. It was Radha Vrindavanath's temple. And Srila Prabhupada was very merciful to me. I used to make sandesh every day. And Srila Prabhupada, whenever anyone from New Vrindavan would go to visit Prabhupada, they would always bring him a box of sandesh I made. And he, out of his great kindness, he always showed appreciation. And when he came to New Vrindavan, he told me that he wanted me to make sandesh for him for every meal, 3 times a day. So on this one particular night, I came with a picture of the deities from the Brahmachari ashram, Radha Vrindavanath, because Kirtanananda Swami decided that Srila Prabhupada should not go there because the road was too treacherous and because the ashram was so primitive and there was no modern anything there. He thought it would be an inconvenience for Prabhupada. So I was thinking as Pujari, if he's not going to come to see the deities, at least the deities could come to see him. So I came with a photo. And Pushta Krishna was not allowing anyone in his room, but I said, I have a gift for Prabhupada. So he said, all right, you come in. So I came in and I offered this picture of Radha Vrindavanath, the only photo we had of those deities. And Prabhupada looked at it, and he was so happy. As he looked at it, he asked Kirtanananda Swami, is this Radha Vrindavan Chandra? He said, no, this is Radha Vrindavanath, and this is the boy who always makes sandesh for you. And, and Srila Prabhupada was looking at the picture, and he began to just talk about Vrindavan. And then he said, you will take me there? And Kirtanananda Swami said, no, Prabhupada, the road is very bad. It is very difficult to get up there. And Prabhupada said, you have pickup, jeep? We will go. I want to go. So Prabhupada intervened with all the cancellations of his trip there, and he insisted that he go. So they took him by a jeep part of the way, and then the rest of the way would be his morning walk. As he was walking, there were cows in the pasture, and the original cow of ISKCON, her name was Kalia. She was a very small black Jersey. At that time she was very old. When she saw Srila Prabhupada, she ran to him. This is the first cow of our movement, and Prabhupada personally named her Kalia. 8 years later, he had never seen her since 1968 when he first came to New Vrindavan. When the cow came running up, one devotee said, Prabhupada, this is a very special cow. And Prabhupada said, yes, I know, this is Kalia. And Kalia walked beside Prabhupada for the morning walk. Prabhupada was so encouraging. He was so encouraging. He would do anything to try to increase a devotee's enthusiasm for devotional service. One time when he was eating the sandesh I prepared for him, he said that this is the best sandesh I have ever tasted in my entire life. And somebody from some other place brought him sandesh another occasion, and he ate it. And the person who brought it said, do you like this sandesh? He said, it is very good, but it is not as good as Radhanath's. So in this way he would say whatever it took to enliven us and invoke a desire to serve him and serve Krishna. Another time, one devotee named Taru made sweet rice, and Prabhupada tasted the sweet rice at New Vrindavan, and he said that I have not tasted sweet rice so good in 40 years. Another time, Chandramali Swami, he made pera, for Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada liked it so much. He said he has not tasted petter like this for so many years. He said, please give this to me with all my meals. And when Srila Prabhupada would give cookies to the children during Guru Puja, it was a wonderful thing, because I was thinking that this is a real preacher. The children couldn't understand philosophy. They weren't able to follow the Srimad Bhagavatam class. But Srila Prabhupada knew if they just became attached to him, they would go back to Godhead. So with a beautiful, loving smile, like a father, he would give each child a cookie, and the children just loved Prabhupada. Everything he did was to induce our love for him, because he knew that our love for him was being carried to the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. The depths of Srila Prabhupada's compassion was something that invoked a mood of surrender from my heart. How much he was willing to extend himself and sacrifice of himself to give us Krishna consciousness. He was so learned that whatever he spoke was just purely presenting the absolute truth in toto. That everything was included in every word he spoke. But the compassion and the concern and the love he had for conditioned souls was something that I had never seen before. I lived with several of his godbrothers who were also extremely learned. They knew the Shastra. It appeared as he knew the Shastra. But Srila Prabhupada's deep, merciful nature to give his life for us was something that I had never experienced before anywhere, in anyone.